So today I want to look into why people change. But honestly, I'm even more interested in why people don't change. Yeah, let's look into it. I'm not in a too researchy mood right now, so let's just do some kind of intuitive thinking, just knowledge based on what I already know. So I want to break it down into, I think, environment. Let's say mental. Maybe let's just do those two, environment and mental. So I guess environment-wise, one thing that I think most people know is that we're very adaptable to situations. I guess some examples could be Stockholm Syndrome, where our brain kind of learns to fall in love in a sense with our captors. So in a sense, we're very adaptable. And that leads to a natural tendency towards the status quo. Right, and so oftentimes in this state of capital and keeping things to yourself and not sharing things, you end up being in the same environments and the same situations with the same things, right? The same house, the same people, and it's all this kind of mine mentality. And so capitalism, the systemic environment, kind of perpetuates stagnancy, because we're stuck in the same environments, the same people. Naturally, we kind of go into autopilot, and during autopilot, what do? You do what you're used to doing, and so you don't change because you're not incentivized to. And to me, honestly, that kind of sums up mental, because we get our ideas from our environments. If our environment is static and unchanging, then naturally we would follow along that path. I think there definitely is genetic relevance, family history of addiction and all that. Certain personality traits may be more abrasive, distractibility, that kind of stuff. Also access to things, right? If you don't have a lot of access to different environments, then naturally you're just going to stay in the same places because you don't have access to anything. I would say naturally people are used to just doing the same old things over and over again. It's the most energy efficient route. I think that's why networking is so important. And I went to this barbershop talk that was held in Laney. I had no idea we had a cosmetology department. It looks amazing. But they invited barbers. Yeah, they had a barbershop talk. And this guy, Van Hook, he was talking about how there's always money, right? Someone's always making money regardless of the situation. The housing crisis or the war on anything, someone's always making money. And so the real thing that makes a difference is access. And so yeah, he said it's what's really rare is access to information, to places, to people, right? If you're exposed to the same people who have the same thinking, then you won't grow. You won't stay in the same patterns. And maybe, I think in most circumstances that's not a good thing. But if you're surrounded by people who are always learning new things and exposing themselves and even other people in their lives to new things, you'll become like them, and then it's constantly moving. And there's importance to all of it, right? The, I guess, routine and established things in your life, and security and all that, where someone can feel very insecure when their environment is so volatile. And for me, I think it was because of my insecurity that, if I'm being straightforward, that my family gave me, that led to me being a lot more self-isolating and less adventurous. And I've been privileged enough to not have to worry about my basic needs. And regardless, my emotional scars or emotional damage that I've been dealt, essentially unable to use my privilege to its most effective use. And I know to a lot of people it sounds corny, but I believe that if I were to have access to more resources and more things, I feel the world would be, I want to say a better place, but it would be a more harmonious place, because I personally strive to be someone who's resourceful and community, like grounded in community and people. People are my passion. And so this is a little rant about me and myself. But so yeah, why don't people change? Fear, shame, environment. And I think the more that I talk about this, the more inclined I am to really explore and do more things outside of my comfort zone. Man, finances are a pain in the ass. Let's not even talk about what I did and didn't do regarding my finances. And I think finances aren't talked about enough. But the stress that people give you for your own finances is... yeah, I notice that I have a tendency to just hide things because of the emotional volatility that people offer. And sometimes it's not just for like myself, but like I hide things to protect others. Because it's like, if you can't deal with the stress, then like you can't deal with the stress. I ain't gonna force it on you. And I haven't forced, like I'm not gonna give you information that's gonna stress you out, which is gonna stress me out. And I think in some ways it has really slowed down the things that I want to do. But you know, it is what it is, and sometimes you don't know what people will do during their volatile states. And you know, it's risk management. I don't really regret doing the things I've done. It is what it is. I don't think there's much point in regret. You just learn from it. But sometimes you learn things that are opposite of helpful, right? Learning to not trust people, learning to not share things, like that kind of stuff. It's not necessarily a good lesson, right? Someone can learn to self-isolate because they've been betrayed by people. And so you see, it's like, I think ultimately a lot of it is environment. And people will say that you don't have control over your environment, but you have control over where you put yourself in. Maybe if you put yourself in environments that allow you to grow without managing the environment, that's a good starting place, because you need that healthy environment to establish those core values and core frameworks. And then with those frameworks, if you want to help other people, you are stronger, you're grounded, and you have a good foundation to really help people. And yeah, I think that's it for today. Let me know if this is interesting or not. Any other topics, I guess. I'll see you soon. Love y'all. Take care of yourselves.